So there's this thing, okay? It's called the rubber duck method, or possibly the rubber duck procedure. That sounds medical. Rubber duck debugging. I don't know. Rubber duck is definitely in the name there, even if I don't 100% know why. If you don't happen to have come across the rubber duck method before, the idea is that when you explain something to someone else, you find that you learn more about it. Or you understand it better. That's it. You understand it better because you've had to explain it to someone. I do not know why this is called the rubber duck method, but it is, and I am a sucker for a good title. That's why I remember this one. Look, I started this 58 Keys channel for a lot of reasons. I mean, chiefly to get to talk to you, but learning from it myself, it wasn't on the list, and yet I have. Across 2 years now, just over 2 years, there have been many times when I wanted to show you something, a writing up that I adore, and in the process I've learned more about it, and I love that. There are things I do now in my writing business that I did not know before finding out to tell you on 58 Keys. So, since this is the 150th produced episode of 58 Keys, not 150 are out, some are still to come, and there are 7 pilot episodes we will not speak of. Let me tell you what I think I've learned over that time. Rather than have you and me go over 149 episodes together right now, not a single sign of biscuits or tea anywhere in sight, let's do this instead. I want to tell you 3 specific things that I recently learned from the 58 Keys channel, and then one more nebulous writing thing. I know I learned from this. I want to keep using it. First up, a fast one that surely neither you nor I will use often in our writing, but it is bacon saving when you need it. From the Marathon 3 Biscuit Guide to Pages, there was this about putting right what once was deleted. In the same menu, browse all versions. Current document there on the left, last saved version on the right, and all previous saved versions behind it. You can go through them all back and forth. Pick any one of them, click on that restore button, and that entire old version replaces whatever was the current whole version. Even more useful, I think, though, is this. You can click into any one of those old versions, select some or all of the text there, then click done to come out without reverting to any old document, and then you can just paste in that text into the current document. About a week after I recorded that edition of 58 Keys, it was a Saturday afternoon, I just run a 2-ish hour writing workshop online. Then I went straight from that into what turned out to be an intense 3-hour phone call with an actor. We went through a script of mine syllable by syllable. And about 20 minutes in, when I realized this is going to take longer than I thought, I also realized I had just made some temporary changes. They weren't set. I didn't necessarily agree with them yet. I wasn't committing to doing them yet. It was like the two of us, we were trying them out to see what they looked like. But nonetheless, changes had been made. And I just went pale. I probably thought, I'm not certain I have a saved copy of precisely the version before these changes, before this call. So I said to my editor, that's interesting. What makes you think that? And then, as she explained, I did listen. Come on. I went to File, Revert to, Browse all versions. Wound back to a version from a few minutes before the call, did Select all on copy, came out of this. Are you following this? Created a new blank Pages document, pasted everything in, and then saved it with the name Safety Copy. Second thing, Stream Deck. If you don't know, if you haven't seen the full 58 Keys edition about the Stream Deck for writers, it's a device. It's got these buttons on it. You press them, and things happen on your Mac. Things that you decide. Fun. I like my Stream Deck. I use it a lot. But it was when I went to I want to show you a bit about using it in Zoom calls that I got thinking. Hello. I need to say first, the thing with the Stream Deck is it has buttons that can do things. Seriously, the quality of information you get from it. What I mean is that by itself, when you get it, the buttons, they don't actually do much at all, but you can very quickly set them up to do certain things. I mean, in fact, actually many things. And then you can also quite slowly set them up to do many more things in combination with other apps. And the thing I want to show you, just as a whizzy example, if you like, it does require another app. And it took me quite a while to set it up too. So you won't get this out of the box with Stream Deck, but what you will get is why it's so useful, how this can make something, a bit of my writing business, how I can make that be really useful and worth having a Stream Deck for. Last weekend, as I was recording this, I was running like a young writing webinar thing. 12, 13 teenage writers, really good writers, just as amazingly good. But we were discussing scripts. Okay, so picture the scene. You're somewhere around 15, looking good. Okay, and we've been talking in a webinar for about half an hour or so, and now we're on the subject of scripts, and I want to talk about, well, I say it's a particular script. Okay, I can do this. So just by pressing a single button, which I've marked as Cam C for no good reason at all, I can switch to that view of a script of mine. And then, hopefully not just from ego, I can press another button and do this. Okay. Actually, no, I can't tell you one. Okay, let's just go. It's just you and me. Let's go back to just you and me. Okay, oh, that's a bit better, right? Okay. Like as I say, that thing, the circle, the script view, it involves other apps, and I'll show them. I'll take you through it if you want to know. Ask me in the comments. But it's just it's further and further away from writing, isn't it? And I think with the Stream Deck, we're already quite far away from it. But I do use it a lot. I do like it a lot. Oh, actually, I'll tell you about that. Let's go the other way, completely the other way. Here's something I know you will like, and I know you can do with a Stream Deck straight out of the box. You have to set up a key, as I'll show you, to set it up, but it's a function that's available to you without the other apps, without the piddling around that I had to do. And it's this. We've now been talking for longer, so you're about 16, okay? We're almost at the end of the session, and we're done. We're all saying goodbye. You know what it's like at the end of a Zoom call? It's ever so slightly awkward. Yeah, because you're moving your cursor to find the end button, and you click that, and but no, it isn't done because it asks you to confirm it. Or if you're in charge to end meeting for all, and you've got to move the cursor to where that is. Yeah, none of that. Instead, I can do this. As it turns out, I keep making the same mistake when I go into Zoom meetings. I keep leaving the camera off. It's not uncommon, except in this case, in my case, it's not a regular camera. It's a virtual one, sort of. Look, you saw me on Zoom, and I also showed you there that I could vision mix, I suppose, between having me or a page of script on screen or a page of script plus me in a circle. What you saw through Zoom. But instead of this webcam thing going straight into Zoom and to you, I have it go first into an app called OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. And that routes multiple things to Zoom. It takes the webcam, it can take a document, all sorts of things. Kind of compiles them, composites them all together in any combination you like, and then throws that to Zoom. Or it does if you have the OBS app open and you've clicked on Start Virtual Camera. And that's the bit I kept forgetting. You invite me into a Zoom meeting, I come on, and because I'm not presenting, because I'm prepared for it, I didn't need to prepare, I'm not planning to show script pages, I haven't launched OBS, I haven't clicked Start Virtual Camera, so Zoom gets nothing. And I know we all forget to switch our cameras on, but in this case now, clicking on Zoom's, turn the camera on button, doesn't do anything, because the virtual camera that feeds that button is turned off. But now, I have a button on my Stream Deck. I'm due on a Zoom call, I press the button. Pressing that, well, it does launch Zoom for me, but it also launches OBS, and it clicks that Start Virtual Camera button. Also, completely unrelated, I can now turn on my office lights with this. Please don't ask, that was a rabbit hole and a half. Having set up Stream Deck when I got it, I stopped fiddling until actually people asked me about Stream Deck on 58 keys, and I wanted to show you some bits. Since showing you, I've been using it more. And I'm using what Stream Deck calls a multi-action button now. One Stream Deck button to do a series of things. I don't know why I wasn't using it before. Love it. Last thing before I tell you the nebulous, the real reason, really. The real thing I think I learned from 58 keys, a real writing lesson. There is Fantastical, the calendar app. If it weren't for you, I would have stuck on the copy of Fantastical that I bought, I don't know, actually 5 years ago. I bought it long enough ago that when Fantastical changed from being a one-time purchase to a subscription, I was grandfathered in to a lot of the features that I'd already paid for, but that now cost extra. Fine, very nice. I would have been okay using it as it was. I wouldn't have known what I was missing, but I subscribed so that I could find out what I was missing, so that I could show you what was new. And what I really like is the very newest part, proposals. Open Fantastical on Mac, iPhone, iPad, any of them you like. Click to start entering a new event. By the way, this has always been a killer feature in Fantastical. It is supremely good at letting you type things like lunch with Rachel 2 weeks from Tuesday, and it understands. But for now, we'll just pop in a meeting and start filling out details. 58 Keys episodes, they first go out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time, so let's do that. In fact, propose another time, and you get exactly the same date and time picker. So enter a new date and time. Click propose another time, do the same, and change your mind, by the way, make edits, whatever you need. I am now using this so often. Okay, that is partly because things are, hopefully, such wood, getting back to normal after the pandemic-ish, cross fingers as well. So I'm having more meetings to arrange, but also it's so quick and it's so easy to do right there in Fantastical. So thank you very much for tipping me off about that. And now, the fourth out of 3 things that I learned, I believed I learned. It's fourth partly because, yeah, I'm a writer, I'm awkward, 3, 4, 3, but also because this is truly about writing, and it's nothing like the rest. It's nothing to do with writing apps and tools and services. It's just this. I believe I've learned to get on with it. I spent so long not doing 58 Keys, not starting up, because I couldn't see I could possibly have the time in a typical week, and that hasn't changed. Except now I have written 150 editions of 58 Keys, and that's more than 1 script a week since the start of January 2020. Just stop writing things off and do it. If it doesn't work, write something else. I'm trying to do that now with more writing projects that I've always wanted to do, so why am I not doing them? Get on with it. They may not work out, but nothing you write is wasted. Okay, it may not ever be published, it may not be performed, any one particular piece might not fly, but it makes you a better writer. I've always believed this. Everything you write, I've just had a huge rejection. It's desperately hard to keep believing that, but it's true. All writing, no matter what happens to it, improves your writing, and I think that also means it improves us, you and me, as writers and as people. Take me, for example. You can debate whether I'm a better writer because of 58 Keys or not. You can debate whether I'm a good writer or not, really. But for example, I believed that I had a failing that I wasn't writing visual material well enough. I'm a script writer, and yet I wasn't writing visually. But then for 58 Keys, for talking for you, and really just for the sheer fun of it, I got to do this. Oh, come on. You need a new iPhone. You deserve a new phone. You deserve an iPhone. Wait, hang on. Aren't you two supposed to disagree? Yeah, and this? I went from writing this article, doing this stuff, and then had, switch gears. I had to do some research for the Writers Guild, and I was doing something, and I needed to make a note. I got some nice reactions to that one. That was fun. And also this last one. This. And thanks for asking about the Stream Deck. Now, take care of yourself, write more, and I'll see you soon. Liberator, bring me up. Yeah, that last visual gag only occurred to me as I was actually filming that 58 Keys episode. And it can probably only work for you if you just happen to be quite old enough to remember the 1970s, 80s BBC drama called Blake's 7. But I am. Sitting here in my office, talking to you, I figured out to, I think, perfectly emulate the teleporting from Blake's 7. If my family knew that that's what you and I spend this time talking about. Okay, I can't imagine actually knowing how to do Blake's 7 teleport effect is ever going to come in actually useful, but I so enjoyed writing it. Imagine what I would have thought as a little boy if I knew I'd eventually get to do that myself. Thank you for watching 58 Keys and for therefore enabling me to write these daft things as well as hopefully useful ones. Okay, take care of yourself. Get on with writing more, the pair of us, and I'll see you soon.